welcome to Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. This is Linda, and we had a storm on the homestead last night, and I was just wanting to let you all see. It was a windstorm, and it blew a lot of my containers over, and a lot of my trees are laying on the ground. So I just brought you all out with me this morning as we assess the work that is going to have to be done. Y'all, I had just got out here the other day and kind of moved some things around and placed some things in some areas just for, looks of it, trying to get things to look a little better. And it seemed like, I don't know if this windstorm was worse than what we have been having, but I haven't had all these things blown around before. Well, I guess it didn't matter about things like this because this bench trellis was blown over also, and it's blown into the fence, which has the fence leaning. So I'm going to have to try and stand that up. So I think this windstorm was much worse than what we've been having in the past because it has even bent one of these T-posts over, and I've never known them to bend, with the storm before. So this is seeming like it is a much worse windstorm than what we have been having. So I just got a lot of things that I am going to have to come out and pick up. I have been filling some of my containers that had the soil levels to go down. I have been, bringing those soil levels back up. And so now a lot of that soil is on the ground. But most of it is little stuff that I can, just get back out here and do again. I wish I had waited because I spent a lot of time, matter of fact, almost a whole day out here just fixing things up. I see some of my tomato plants were knocked over off of the fence. So I don't know if they're broken or if I'll just be able to stand them back up. This one was pretty heavy, so it looks like it may be okay. I can't tell if it's broken right now. Well, I can see that it is bent, so I don't know if I'm gonna have to cut that the rest of the way off. But I mean, this entire side took a hard hit, and I don't know where. Okay, this was an empty container. I was fixing to say I don't even remember this tote container, but it is empty. This is one that I had recently taken the potatoes and emptied them out of. But yeah, it's gonna take a while to get this all back together. I was just looking at my ground cherry because I've been anticipating getting some ground cherries from it, but the fence is leaning over on it, but it is still intact. Those plants seem to be all intact in their raised bed. The peach tree is laid over, but it seems to be okay, and my blackberry bush is laid over, but I think it will be okay. All I need to do is just pick those up and put the soil back into them. And this is my berry bush that has been so prolific, and it spilled a lot of the soil out of it, but it seems to be still intact. So I see that I can come on out and harvest and stuff. I thought about it when the rain was coming down so hard that I had wished that I had gone ahead and gotten my tomatoes that were blushing. Because whenever you know that there's going to be a heavy rain, it's best to get your tomatoes that are blushing so that when you come back out after the rain, the tomatoes will not be burst open. They will crack if they get too much water at one time. So I'm looking at these tomatoes over here. I don't see any cracking on them yet, and they are not blushing either, so maybe that's why. Got some nice looking tomatoes underneath there. But I did harvest a Dr. Wyche's or Witch's tomato before the storm. And when I tell you that tomato was so delicious, it was so delicious, y'all. It is one of those that the color just gets like a yellow, a creamy yellow, close to orange look, and it's ready. That is one of the most delicious tomatoes. It is so delicious that it made me want to just run and hide with it. It was so delicious. So I am looking forward to getting some more of those. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go and look at the plant to see if there are some more, because in one of the previous videos, I noticed that the labels were mixed up. And it said Dr. Wyche's, is this? I'm trying to see if this is the area. But it has Dr. Wyche's and I think it was the Sun Gold. It can't be these plants mixed up. And I said that I thought those had to be a switch of labels, because the Dr. Wyche's was a large tomato and the place that was marked was smaller. And this is probably not the best time to be looking for it after a storm when the labels already were mixed up. Oh, it was the, okay, I see it now. It was the Roma, which is the San Marzano tomato that I had noticed that the label was, yes, this is it, because this label said Dr. Wyche's, and that is a San Marzano. And then the one beside it said, let me see, did it say, what is it? It's not even over here. The label's not over here. But now I know that this is the Dr. Wyche's tomato right here. So those are just small. They haven't gotten as big yet because that tomato was huge. But I must have gotten it off another plant though, because it don't seem like I picked that. Y'all, my memory be bad sometimes, but I'm thinking, let me see. Okay, this one says triple crop. I think that is triple crop right there. But I have got to find out where it was, because I got to make sure that I get these labels put back on. And sometimes it's hard to tell after you have, after the tomatoes even come on, you'll think, well, you're going to remember which tomato it is, and you just don't, because they all start looking alike to you. So it's best if you can keep your labels separate and in the right place. But yeah, it's going to take a lot of work today to get this stuff put back where it was, to get this soil picked back up. And it laid this little corn that is up. It laid it over a little bit. But notice that the corn that I replanted, it is germinating. So that lets me know that those other seeds were not all viable. Some of them had to be in because I got these first plants from it. But now, the place where I planted with the, because I replanted once with those other seeds and it did not germinate. I got no germination. But now I have about 90% germination so far. And I see some other, those other ones are just really tiny right now. So maybe take that up to maybe 95%. I see still a few. Well, there's another one that is. So it is almost 100% germination now. So now I've just got to stay on it so that I can get this corn up so that before the season is over that we'll be able to get some good corn harvest. Because I'm excited about that peaches and cream because it is a very delicious corn. And the okra, it's looking good. Still have some spots in there where I can pop some more seeds in. But for the most part, the okra looks really good. Okay, and then on those purple hull peas, they're starting to sprawl to the center of the aisle. So I'm excited about those purple hull peas. While we're over here, let's go ahead and look at the loofah, which I'm going to have to stake. Loofah is getting some little buds on it. Getting to it, sprawling out. And the sweet potatoes are looking fantastic. It's binding out. So right now, the only thing is left to do is just keep it watered and let it do its thing. Okay, I see there was some big branches also blown from the weeping willow tree. I had not noticed those before. Okay, and I just saw something that I have to take immediate care of, and those are my Costa Luda Genovese tomatoes laying on the ground over here. And I'm feeling like I accidentally, not accidentally, but that I got, that I did. Yeah, I'm sorry for getting all over the place, but I just noticed where I got that tomato. And it, look, y'all, that is that Dr. Witches. I'm going to call it Dr. Witches. That's the first one I always say. So if I'm not pronouncing it right, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is where I got that tomato from. And it was so delicious. I am going to take this one because as you can see, I should have taken it before, but it was beginning to ripen. And it has a little, looks like it's about to get some blossom end rot. And I told you that comes from lack of calcium once the plant is getting too much water. But y'all, this is a delicious tomato. I am going to take it in since it has cracked. And it looks like in those cracks, you know, I don't see any bug activity. It's just a crack from the rain. I'm going to take this tomato in. This is a gem. This tomato is so delicious. If you have not grown this, I don't know, your taste buds could be totally different. And that you don't, this tastes like should be a luxury tomato. It tastes so good. It has a little citrusy taste to it. And it is citrusy sweet though, if that makes sense. Yeah, it is so delicious. I feel like ending this video right now, just go ahead and make me a tomato sandwich. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take this tomato and put it up and finish the video. Yeah, I'm not playing around with it anymore. I went and got me a label, and I am going to stick it in here so I will not forget. Because you think you're going to remember and say, okay, well, I'll put a label on it later. Best to go ahead and put the label on it right at that moment, because you will forget. At least I will. Okay, so now I got that standing back up. It's not how I want it, but best I can do with using one hand at the moment. So I'll come back and get it straightened where I can be careful with my plant, because I do not want to break this plant. I can't even talk. It is so delicious, and so I got to make sure that I have some more of those plants. If not, I need to go ahead and start some seeds. So let's see if I can get another one. But I think I must have, because I have to, because otherwise I would not have a label. Well, that don't mean anything. Okay, but as I was saying over there, well, I'm gonna pick up this sunflower. Now I'm happy about this sunflower, as tall as it is, but it's not that heavy. It's kind of tall. It did not break. I'm happy about that. I'm gonna have to harvest some of this turmeric. Let's see, what kind of plant is this? The ones that are fusing together over here does not have a label. And I've been meaning to take these fused tomatoes off, because I don't want that. This plant is wasting energy up on these tomatoes. Because, let me see. It's fused, and it has that, what it's called, cat face, and I'm sure, let's see. I don't see any bug damage, but I'm sure that if it stays on this plant, it will get some. So I might just give it a chance to blush and then take it inside, because if you give your tomatoes a chance to blush, once you take them inside, then they will finish ripening inside the house. But you need to let them blush first. And that means just let them get a little pink on them. Another sunflower that was able to stand up. Oh, I have a big sunflower here. I need to go and check on it, and just gonna walk through really fast to let you all see the other plants. Oh my goodness, my sun gold is over here laid over. Need to get it with my peppers. I harvested a lot of peppers before the storm and tied the pepper plant up. So I got most of the peppers off of this plant before the storm. Got a lot of leaves in it from just laying over on the ground. But still has a lot of sun gold tomatoes that are ripe on there. I'll go ahead and get those off. And those peppers look like they're okay. I don't need to take any of those off. Oh, and I do have some germination on my potatoes that I planted in the raised bed where I harvested potatoes. So the potatoes are coming up. And as I told you all, this time I am not going to hill this bed up. I just put all the soil in there at one time, and whatever potatoes we get under there, those will be the potatoes that we will get. I just up potted this blood orange tree the other day, and it's doing well in the pot that I put it in. It did not get tossed over in the storm, so it's looking good. It has a lot of new growth on it. The sunflower next to it got blown over, but I was going to see the large sunflower, and I can see from here that it is standing. My gladiolus got knocked over. Just stand them back up. And they seem dry. They didn't even get into that water. All the rain that it did, now they're dry. So gotta get ready to water those. But this is the sunflower that I was talking about. And it is very tall. So since it did not get blown over, that lets me know that I need to go ahead and stake it. Because it was able to hold up, but I don't want to take any chances like that again with that huge sunflower. I need to go ahead and stake it up. But these two trees here, these are the Yoshima flowering cherry. I think I got that name right this time. But I just moved these over here, and both of them ended up falling over. So I don't know if they're gonna like this spot. I might need to take them back where they were, but I wanted to bring them where they could get more sun. They were kind of blocked from the sun. Y'all look at this chicken. They just living their best life. But that's all for this video, guys. I didn't mean for this video to get long. I just wanted to show you some things that it went on in the storm that we had the weekend. So I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next video.